Now, in 1992, she was crowned Miss South Africa, and during the Miss World pageant of the same year, she made media history by bravely refusing to carry the old South African flag during the pageant, which was hosted in South Africa as well. Since then, she has become an internationally successful businesswoman, sitting on the board of several companies, public speaker, mother, and also educational activist. Joining us in the loft is Amy Kleinhans-Curd. Welcome.
Oh, it's so lovely to be with you this afternoon.
How wonderful are you? Now, I want to take us back to 1992. I mean, you became Miss South Africa in the first Miss South Africa of colour in a tremendously unsettling time, and then you owned it. I mean, I want to know your personal view on what that was like for you going through that at the time.
Well, it was obviously very exciting times for us in South Africa. Politically, it was churn, churn, churn. Nelson Mandela had just been released. It was a lot of uncertainty in our country. People were very uncertain about where it was all going, whether it was going to end up disastrous or whether it was going to be a success. And I think the evening I won was almost symbolic of, you know what, it's going to go well. It's actually going to go well.
Did you just feel it?
It was an amazing, and many people actually told me that evening, and months after that it was almost symbolic of where the South African journey was going to go. And being the first Miss SA of colour, just internationally made a huge statement. Yeah. And it was exciting times. My word, there were no 2 days the same.
Amazing.
People were so happy for you and supported me in such an incredibly special way. I still have the most incredible memories of that year.
And then what happened was, obviously, as much as you were supported, there were obviously people that were, you know, complaining that you didn't want to carry the flag. And then Nelson Mandela phoned you.
Oh, my word. That was that was an amazing experience. It was, to cut a long story short, we were 87 girls. I had gone and, as host girl, fetched them from England. Everybody had to meet in England, and I brought them to South Africa. And of course, the Miss South Africa committee at the time didn't actually brief me on the little extra details of which I had to provide for the Miss World, because I was in my home country. So the girls were told, bring your national dress, bring your evening wear, bring your da-da-da-da, and bring your flag, which I didn't know. So we were sitting in the Super Bowl doing our rehearsals, and I saw these beautiful, beefy, almost North African, really hunky boys walk in, half-clad. I said to Bill Fora at the time, and those are?
And who they for?
Yes, and why are they here? And he just said, oh, well, we decided that when the girls announce themselves internationally, it would be nice to fly the flag. So they all brought their own flags, Amy, and what the guys are going to be bearing the flag, and you walk up in front of them. And I said, and me? Yeah. And he looked at me and he said, I don't want to say what Suzelle says, but yeah. And then he said, you're right. We didn't use it. I said we didn't use it in the All Africa Games that we just did. I actually went to the first rugby game at Twickenham with Nas Botala and so on.
He's amazing.
And
he's another story.
It's a complete different story. And I said, but why should I actually use it on the international stage with the Miss World competition?
Exactly.
Well, after a long, hard story, we had Saul Kersner in, and the editors of the newspapers and the committee, and sitting and what's the solution? Yeah. I said, well, I either walk out, or I don't carry a flag, or I carry something neutral. Yeah. And I eventually walked out. It was decided with a neutral flag, but because I was host girl, I carried the Miss World logo on this big white flag. That and of course, Saul Kersner was very happy at the time because it was promoting him, and his organisation. But of course, I had no idea what the flag was going to be afterwards. And at the time, we were at all the girls. That evening, Miss Russia won. I came fourth, and it was just amazing. Beautiful evening. And I had a little bit of feel from the press at the time that evening there was a little bit of an unsettledness happening. But we were ushered into our private ball and the whole evening, and then we were ushered by security up the stairs. So I didn't get any flack that evening.
Yeah, because you were protected there.
Exactly, and that was November 1992. So there was no social media, there were no cell phones, there were no emails.
No, so we weren't getting hate tweets.
No hate tweets. Goodness. But of course, just the landline. So that morning, my phone started ringing off, which just went ridiculous. And of course, everybody that was involved with the hotel, whatever, had no idea that this was going to be coming towards me. And I'd take one call after the next, and some people would say, "Hoe durf jy sê jy's my juffrou Suid-Afrika en jy wil nie ons vlag vlieg nie," and horrible. And then some people would phone in and say, "My word, you did us proud," or "What a brave thing to do," or "We so support
That's
you."
That's what I keep on thinking, like, how
like,
much courage did you have as such a young woman? Because that's quite a brave thing. I mean, Solkers, all these editors of newspapers, it's quite intimidating.
Exactly.
So you have to be quite brave for you to say, sorry, no.
And you know, when you actually have a personal conviction about something, that old flag symbolically caused my people so much pain. I could not. There was just no way, you know?
I loved you so much that you did that.
No, and then I just eventually said to my roommate, "That's it. I'm not going to take another call. This is ridiculous. I'm just getting abused." And the phone rang again, and she said to me, "You know what? And why I picked the phone up all the time because my mom and dad were calling me, and I never knew which call would be them. And there's of course no cell phone." So she said, "You know what? It could be your mom and dad. Just pick up the phone, Amy." So I pick the phone up, and it goes, "Hello." I'm going, "You've got to be kidding me. Who can this be?" I'm thinking, somebody's pulling the mickey. I'm really not in the mood. And he says, "Do you know who I am?" And you know, Tata had a distinctive voice.
Yes.
And I was silent. He said, "It's Nelson Mandela." And I said,
"Sure."
Yes, he said to me, "I just want to personally tell you that what you did for me personally and for our country internationally made me so proud."
You are amazing.
So that's how that story happened. And he asked me, will I be his friend?
Yes.
I said, "No, let me just check my diary."
We're going to be back with you on the couch in a little while, speaking more about your absolutely inspiring story. After the break, Danilo gets cooking in the kitchen with the ultimate hamburgers. And we're back on the couch with Amy to discuss her company, Dialer Teacher. We'll be right back after this. In 2000, Amy Kleinhans-Curd, with focus on creating a company that would have a massive impact on education throughout South Africa, established Dialer Teacher, a nationwide phone-in advisory service where school children have access to help with their homework after school hours. We're back on the couch with Amy to learn more about this amazing initiative, which has been running successfully for the past 16 years. So, when you became Miss South Africa, you had just completed your degree in higher learning, and your father was a headmaster. So education running thick through your family. So obviously it was something that was very important to you. Did you go into teaching, or did you immediately then?
No, I definitely didn't go back into teaching. But I obviously, like you said, it was something in my genes. I wanted to remain in the business of education, but not the 9-to-5. And also the Miss South Africa competition and that entire world opened up my platform to access so many more children. Instead of just concentrating on 20, 30 children, sometimes now 40, 50 children in a classroom, I wanted to have a national reach. And I actually thought of how can I actually reach the child in their need, where they really, really need it.
Such a good idea.
And I must admit, I had a mom that was a maths and art teacher. My dad was a headmaster of a school, but I actually needed help with my homework when I was at home. And I thought to myself, I wonder whether that would be a really good, helpful service. I then piloted the service in 1999 and with a school that I'd known very well. And I gave the service to the school, and I said to the teachers, please tell them about the children about it. And at the assembly, I briefed the children, and I said, you can call us for any question that you have.
It's brilliant. The lines must be bringing off the hook.
It was so successful, that pilot, and I haven't looked back. I mean, I launched the service with Nelson Mandela. Absolutely loved it, and he loved the fact that we're employing teachers and that we're seeing to the grassroots needs of children in South Africa. And he launched the service with me, and I was high pregnant with my second baby, and it was all very exciting.
Now, how does it work? Is it a call center kind of environment, and are they available all day, every day?
No.
Okay,
So they
just homework hours.
That's right. So they actually, I have the call center filled with a call center with the teachers between 4 and 10 at night, when the children are mainly doing, the learners are doing their homework. And then we've actually had to split it into 2 teams. We have the direct tutoring team, so a learner would call in and say, I'm in grade 11, I'm struggling with my stats, please can I speak to a maths teacher? And then it will be routed, the call will be routed to the maths department. Or the learner will call in and say, I'm in grade 7, I'm struggling with a project and I can't find the research, my computer's down and we don't have a decent library in our town. And that's how, then we send them to the research engine. And what we actually do is that we help the child or the learner define what the project's all about, what exactly the points are that the teacher is looking for, and then we actually ask them to give us 12 hours or 24 hours to actually look for exactly which information would be pertinent for their project.
Okay.
So that's how we split it.
Amazing.
What I've done with the teachers over the years, it's been an incredible journey where the teachers have to get to know how to work in a call center environment, how to log the call, how to log the question, and then fill in the content. So we've got content.
I'm sure, because it's quite broad. I mean, imagine some child in grade 2 phones with the Spanish project.
Exactly. So we've got a broad range of content and data back-ending our call center. So it's made it a whole lot easier. So a grade 5 would call in and ask about a specific project. And of course, we have that on our database, so we bring that up. Yeah. We can immediately speak to them where to go and find the information. And then, of course, with technology, it's been such an incredible blessing.
Oh, of course.
Because the teachers have to work at night, they often are teachers that teach during the day. They finish off a long day at school and then come into the call center. And quite often in wintertime, it's cold and rainy and so on. Yeah. I've now got my teachers on remote, which is just fascinating.
Oh, that's
so they can go home and actually just slot into, have dinner, whatever, and slot into the call center, let us know they're online, and then whenever we need a teacher, they are available, which is wonderful.
That is so brilliant. Now, what is the collaboration with Leap School?
Oh, my word, Leap School is my baby. I actually have I'm patron of the Leap Schools for Advanced Maths and Science, and what they actually do is they take the academically strong children from very disadvantaged, impoverished environments, and they put them into the school environment that academically runs from like 7:30 to like 5 o'clock at night. And they have double maths and double English and double, science and so on. They actually try and encourage the children to really push through into a more academic education for themselves. And what Dialect Teacher, I've got a social responsibility arm attached to Dialect Teacher, and that's what we do for them. So they get the calls for free and they call us whenever they have to. It's just been an incredible journey between Leap and Dialect Teacher, and amazing that Dialect Teacher teachers love working with the Leap school learners because they are so determined and they're focused and they're
hungry for that.
And grateful, you know, which is so wonderful to work with.
Oh, education. I can't say it enough. It's the one thing that should be priority in this country at the moment. Thank you so much for chatting to us.
Pleasure.
You're not going away. We've got more with you a little bit later. After the break, we're joined by a representative of the Peninsula School Feeding Association, and we chat to sports scientist Kathy McQuaid about how to maintain a healthy lifestyle plan. We'll be right back.
How you doing, YouTube fam? Thank you so much for watching, sharing and commenting. We love hearing from you, so be sure to keep up to date with all things Afternoon Express by clicking the subscribe button right here.